I have been listening to the new album for about a good week or so here, and I love it.
Oh,
Um,
thank
as you guys have been doing your other streams, talking to your fans of the videos and the singles come out, I love listening to them because I'm going, I know it's coming and it's fantastic. And if you think you love what you hear now, you have no idea what's coming, so you're really gonna love it. So it's
you.
always that kind of weird side because I love to sit in on your streams, and so it's always fun to say, and it hits exactly what I'm thinking, especially as I'm getting ready to review the album. I'm like, yeah, we're right on target with what your fans think, so it's
Oh,
pretty
that's
cool.
great.
How is it for you guys as you've released the first couple of singles in the feedback from the fans? I know you guys have really appreciated the fans, but on a more personal level, when it's maybe you're not telling the fans directly, but how does it feel for you to hear that feedback?
Just fantastic. Seriously, you really never know exactly what to expect when you release new music, because I mean we write from the heart. That's it. We do not try to figure out what people want or what they want to hear the next time. So I mean it's very pure, and it feels kind of naked sometimes, because I mean you put yourself out there, and then suddenly people can review it and they give feedback, and I mean some comments are just rude and they will always be, but the overall feedback has just been, it's kind of overwhelming sometimes because it's so beautiful and there's so much emotions to grab, you know. It's like you're very happy, and all of the songs has a reason to exist, and that's everything we've been through. So it's just mixed feelings, but it's in overall so beautiful to get this feedback.
Can I ask you, what's worse for you when you hear those negative comments? Is it worse coming from your fans or coming from somebody who's reviewing the album that millions of people might see?
We've never gotten bad comments from fans, only from trolls.
And there are millions of those.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so fucking many. Like like this type of criticism where they write cringe, period. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
let me take
Yeah,
that
I can
to
make
heart
better.
and just
Yeah.
like make it better next time.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do anything with that.
When I'm
But
reviewing albums, I hate that because you have to be constructive about it, but you also have to be honest because people will call you out. I'm like, we get trolled. I've been trolled so hard. I've had the worst emails over albums that people have loved, but it's all subjective. But I always try to give that constructive feedback as to like, hey, here's why I'm justifying why this just didn't work for me. And I think that when you see that cringe, it's just like, ugh, really,
you
come
have to
on.
explain your
Maybe say what made you say cringe. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And the
Yeah.
worst part, I mean, I know that you listen to the albums and you review them, and that is the way it should be. But I mean, we read reviews from our second album Until the End, where it's so obvious that
They didn't even listen
they
to
didn't
it.
listen to it because they just write that, yeah, okay, it's another band with operatic vocals. What? No, it's not. There's none.
And that's funny because you know me, I'm at Sweden Rock every year and I'm out doing things, and so I'm really deep into the Swedish scene. And last year, when not this year, the summer when they had to shutter, but last year when you guys were there, I didn't get a chance to talk to you, but I kept running past you guys the whole time I was there, and everyone I was with kept saying, "Oh, there's Eleine. They're so exotic. There's something so fresh about them." And I really love that kind of feedback because I had only been introduced to you guys a few years back from my friend Sean Irwin, who was over at CGC and podcast. And he said, "Oh, you've got to know this band. They're really great." And I'm like, "Well, okay, so what's different about them?" Because, you know, it seems to be that is kind of the trend from the European bands that America here, that's what we hear, you know, that, oh, it's just another European. What is this? Another singer opera and some growling. But then to hear other industry pros saying, "Oh, they're so exotic. There's just something so unique and genuine in their sound." And it gives that kind of breadth of not just your fans saying it, but other people that totally respect what you're doing. So I think that's really cool, like that you touch on that because I know you're not the operatic. So you have these beautiful flowing vocals, and so yeah.
So those kind of reviews, I mean, that reach out to a lot of people. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Give
You're
me a
feeding
chance.
them the wrong information. Yes. What are you doing?
I mean, that's just rude, you know? So yeah, but I mean, yeah.
Well, reviewers are people too, and people have thoughts about things, I guess.
Yeah, and I've taken my fair share of getting my butt bit for a few things I've said, but I had to be honest, and you know, and I always end it, if it's a negative review, I always end it with, "Hey, it's subjective. It may not have worked for me, but listen to it. It might work for you. So.
It's better to be honest than to do the Stewie Griffin like, you're so pretty, you know?
I'm waiting for the day that I get my Lester Bangs moment because I'm gonna be like, shit, Sandwich, man, that's just a horrible album. I've never done it yet, but I'm waiting for that opportunity.
That would be a horrible review to say, I would rather eat a shit sandwich than to listen to this again.
That's pretty hard.
That's harsh.
So let's talk about the music, because you have these beautiful, clean vocals, and they're flowing and they're very ethereal. Kind of, it's just this. And when I think about it, I kind of embody it like, I kind of describe Eleine like, you've got like this gypsy kind of style to you, that it's kind of this just free feeling, and it just flows, and it's kind of, there's no bounds. But then you've got these great growls that just it comes right into it. You're not expecting it because you've got this beautiful flow, and then bam, it hits you, and it's like, what is this? It's so good. How did you guys develop your style?
The style for Eleine, I don't know. It just came about, right?
Yeah. Well, as I said, we only write from the heart, and we sit in our process just creating, you know, and we never squeeze something in just because, people probably expect that. I mean, it's like we just do what feels right, like the blast beats. That's one example.
Yeah, I don't think that fans have heard those tracks yet, but you have.
Yeah, you have.
I'm loving the new album because I was like, whoa, what is this?
Because, I mean,
it progresses, but then it's like, yeah.
So now everyone knows that blast beats are coming. And the reason for that is quite simple. And I like things when they're simple. It's kind of beautiful when it's simple sometimes. And this came about when we were recording the EP All Shall Burn. And Jesper, our drummer, was about to record the drums, and he did a couple of tracks, one or two, and then he took a break. And in that break, he kept drumming, and he did blast beats. And I was like, we were like in the other room. So he can do blast beats. We can use those blast beats.
And I mean, for the song, we included the blast beats in. They give this. So we didn't squeeze it in. Again, we did not squeeze them in just because, this is cool, right?
They gave depth.
Yes, they gave a meaning to the song, like this chaos.
Yeah, the chaotic touch of it from that track on that spot.
Really did fit in. So it's like, it's just nice to just create whatever feels right. So I guess
it is
that's
the
answer.
salt to the potato chip.
Yeah, and when you're talking about the blast beats, you're absolutely right. You didn't squeeze them in because it felt very natural in the flow. So it was unexpected because it's something you don't expect from you guys, but it was very natural. And so it was like, whoa, what is this? So it's really cool to have something new and fresh building on what you're already doing. So for this album, were you guys already recording before this whole coronavirus kicked off, or where were you in the process?
Well, we weren't recording as such, but we were writing. We have been writing this album for it's been planned, and then writing periods being squeezed in for about a year and a half. Am I wrong or right?
Yeah, let me see. We're in 2020.
About.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
A year and a half of like planning and booking sessions for writing.
Yeah.
And then writing. I mean, on the tour we were with Mirror, the tour that got canceled because of COVID. It sucked major balls. Yeah. Can I say balls on your record?
Absolutely. It sucks, and I totally agree, because Eleine and Mirath was like the perfect lineup because they do such a really visual show, and then you guys do a show. It's like, come on. I think the fans got cheated, and I hope that lineup gets set back again once tours kick back, because that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Great. You never know. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. When Eleine and Mirror was on tour, that was it. Yeah. We actually wrote the last part of the lyrics whilst on tour. We were like, okay, we gotta do this, because we put a lot of thought into our lyrics and stuff like that. Some bands do, and many don't, because they just put down lyrics that sound cool, I guess. I'm a real lyric nerd. I love lyrics. I hate reading though. That's quite a coincidence.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. I love lyrics because they give another depth to the song, and you can actually connect with songs that you initially didn't like, but if the lyrics are good, you can love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we weren't recording whilst on tour. Was that the question? I
the recording started when we came home from the tour a bit earlier. You just finished up the symphonic arrangement, or not just a lot of work, of course. You finished up the symphonic arrangements, and in May we started the recording. So everything has been planned for almost 2 years. So it's been quite frustrating mentioning the album for fans. And they're like, oh yeah, you've been keeping up during the pandemic. It's like, it doesn't take 4 months to write very deep, meaningful songs and make the symphonic arrangements and then record everything else. It takes a lot of time.
It is the glamorous view they want to have, I guess.
Yes, it is. Because,
but it is good to let people know that it does take a lot of time.
And I think the reason why we just feel like, oh, not another one saying that is because when the pandemic happened and all the gigs were canceled, and we're full-time musicians.
Yeah.
And I mean, no money, no income, and people who actually know you and know that this is what you earn money from says, oh, but that's good. Then you can be in the studio new songs. It's like, do you think that there will be a paycheck every Friday in my inbox? No,
I get paid for every note.
Yeah. That would be fantastic.
So just walk into the studio every day, do this on the piano.
Yeah. You know? So I think it's just because of that, but it's beautiful that people think that. Of course,
they mean well. Yes. I mean, we get that.
They always do.
Even the music videos have been planned for a while. But the thing with this break, I would call it, with the COVID,
the pause.
the pandemic, the pause, is that we could actually do more music videos. Yeah. We do those ourselves also. So instead of having 2 videos, we had 4.
Yeah.
And I love it because when you guys did the aerials in this, the video, I was like, why? And you were talking about how you got to learn and exchange. And I thought that was really cool that you had the time to do that. And so there are a few little things that, the pandemic really sucks, but it kind of maybe helped a little up the game on some of the things you haven't done yet that it gave you that chance to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't pump the brakes while you're driving uphill.
No. So. That would be bad.
Yeah.
I need to ask you, you guys also, outside of your music, you have your own photography business and your graphic design stuff. How is that? Is that working at all this year, or is that curtailed as well?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I think the only one in the industry, like it's a big industry. If we're just talking about the creative industry, I think the only ones that actually has a lot to do, what I know of, is the studio engineers, like Thomas, who will record the drums and vocals at. I mean, he has a lot to do. He has no pause at all.
No.
And he's the only one that I know is similar. Yeah, he has more to do because people do take their chance to record all the old demos and let's make an album. Yeah, of course he has a lot to do, but
we did shoot a band just this weekend.
Yeah, we did.
So I mean,
a
little on and off, I would say.
Yeah.
For us right now, it hasn't come grinding to a complete halt, but it's tugging along.
Yeah.
So what came first for you guys? Was it the music or was it the photography business?
Music.
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah. But the photographing part and that creative process is also an important process because me personally, I work a lot with visuals. When we're writing songs, I imagine movies in my head when I'm thinking about the story. Yeah.
That's exactly how I hear music when I hear it. I'm like, it's like a movie screen in my head.
Oh, I've never met anyone.
It's the weirdest. It's so the band Europe, they did that the last Look at Eden album. The opening on that is very symphonic, and I always imagine it they're in some desolate war of the world kind of thing. You're looking down in some landscape, and somebody's got lights flashing out of their hands. It's my brain just kind of goes whoa, and my brain and I'm always like, wow, I can imagine this is a video.
Yeah, exactly. And that is why I haven't done one interview talking about what the title track Until the End and the song after, Please, what they're about. I haven't done one interview without almost crying because it's so clear in my head and I visualize myself there. So it just gets too close in some way, But it's nice to hear someone else that gets that. I haven't met anyone.
That's like the ultimate music kind of geek kind of thing. That's how I've always music has, and I think that's probably what brought me to music was just that, back in the MTV days, and that I was just always looking at how people did things, and I think it's really cool. You can kind of digest somebody's music, and you get your own total interpretation of it. It can be totally far off from what the artist has done, but your music just kind of hits you in a way that you just don't expect it, and you just feel things that I've never met anybody the same where they just kind of they're seeing it in like a video. It's pretty cool.
Finally met Diane. I mean, finally.
So cool. He's over there like, oh, okay, come on.
I mean, smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
I don't get it.
It's like, I'm happy anyway.
I'm very happy. Yeah.
So on the new album, what's the most unexpected thing that you did that you want fans to really know about, to really pick up on?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's a tough question because we didn't really think about things in that manner because everything just came so naturally, and it's a natural progression. I mean, okay, the jump from our debut album to Until the End is a great leap, and from Until the End to Dancing in Hell is also a great leap. I mean, it's a natural progression all the way through. So I don't think that we want fans to like pick up on small things. We just want them to experience the album and feel stuff, I guess,
but
and understand it.
Yeah, but I really do like the album overall. It is like heavier and a bit darker.
Oh yeah, that's very
And
clear.
I think that would be what I should answer. Like, I hope they pick up that because it felt so natural for these songs. I mean, let's see what happens next. But I personally really enjoy it. It feels so Eleine.
I don't think that they have a choice.
No.
It is darker, it is heavier, and it still has that Eleine touch. Well, actually, I would like for fans to pick up on the small Easter eggs I put in here and there. I've done that, like small homages to the Swedish national anthem. I put in like small bits and twists and turns to Star Wars. I put in Easter eggs that references our first album and stuff like that. So there's a lot of fun stuff to explore. Also,
there's some great contest ideas for you guys now too. Have your fans pick up on those. That is awesome. Yeah, and I love that you say like the Swedish national anthem, because unless you're Swedish or you go to Sweden around Sweden National Day, you're not really going to hear it. So fans have to go and listen to that, but you will pick up on it. It's there's a lot of different little things out there that I think are really, really cool. That I'm like 11 tracks that are just going to be like, oh. I don't mince my words, and sometimes I don't have words because it's just it's so good. So
I get it.
Just the ultimate music fan. So what tour-wise has happened to you this year? I know pretty much everything has canceled. How much has anything come back for next year? Are you guys just kind of completely on hold?
Not really, because I mean the 3 weeks we actually had with Mirath in Europe were so successful. I mean, I really don't want that to be forgotten just because pandemic happened and it had to be canceled, because it was 3 weeks of awesome shows, awesome crowds, and I mean it meant a lot to Eleine as a band. We gained so much fans on that tour. And of course, everything just canceled, nothing, but we have announced a tour with Soilwork in the early next year, and after that we have a lot we're talking about right now, but nothing we can tell everyone.
There's stuff planned and in the works, but as Madeleine said, nothing we can express now.
We're just hoping for the best.
Yeah, since I mean every other 2 months, everything just like it twists and turns, everything changes. Yeah. So come on, vaccine.
Yes.
You know,
I'm so ready for 2020 to be done with. I'm just Can we just get back to shows? I don't know about you, because
Is it Mad Max played out in 2021?
Something like that. It's kind of on that. So and we're getting close to Soylent Green, which is kind of scary.
It's people.
Yeah. So you guys actually did get to do a show recently. What was that like for you after all the time not having shows, and how did it make you feel knowing that you really haven't done a lot of touring? Because I know as a music fan, my side of it, I haven't seen a single show since February was my last show. So I'm kind of like, I feel dead this year because music really is my connection. And so for an artist, it's got to be that next level of devastation.
Yeah, it's painful. And
Easy to go depression.
Yeah.
I mean, but walking out on stage again was like flipping a switch.
Yeah. It really
is.
was.
Yeah, it really is.
It felt like, oh, we did this yesterday. You know, it was like, it was beautiful.
We always take a great value in being very prepared all the time. Because you never know what will happen when the playing field will change again. Maybe everything opens up and next week you got to play in this major festival. Well, then you got to be ready. You know, you never know.
We still meet once a week and rehearse and just hang out and play the songs and everything. So it's just,
we actually like to hang out.
Yeah, we do.
Like,
at least we have that, and just I just hope this goes away soon. At least this can start up again at some level, at least.
Yeah, but it's been hard. It's been really hard. I mean, for a music lover, it's been really hard. For artists, it's been really hard. It's been hard for everyone, and we're really close in touch with our fans, especially those on Patreon, because I mean, we interact with our patrons in a more personal level than what we can do on Facebook and Instagram due to trolls. You know, so I mean, we've been keeping our heads high, and our mood is up.
And it's also for their sake, because I mean, since we have this more personal level contact with our patrons, we have this virtual meet and greets, and I usually stay in touch on Messenger and stuff like that. And
talk about ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course, they're great. They're the best. But I mean,
Sure.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to point out that they also feel depressed because there's no concerts, and the majority of them do like go to concerts all the time. It's their life. It's like the meaning of their life.
Oh yeah.
And now they don't have that. So now I feel that it's more important than ever for bands to stay in touch with their fans, even if it's not on Patreon. There you have the time to actually be more personal, but also try to stay in touch on Facebook and Instagram, or at least be present.
Yeah, it's good for the band, sure, but you're also helping out another human being.
Exactly.
So
it's so important. So I just hope that people keep that in mind, and just because you don't have any gigs, you just disappear from the radar, and just like they don't know where you are at all. I mean, it's just I believe it's important.
In Sweden, we have the opportunity right now, at least, to do gigs for 50 people sitting down. So I mean,
standing up.
Standing up.
Yeah, it's standing up as well.
My bad. Well, standing up or sitting down then.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, that's something at least. But there are not that many shows. But yeah.
No.
Yeah, I kind of would have sawed one of my arms off to be locked up in Sweden this whole time instead of being over here, because you guys at least have some normalcy, where over here things are very different and we don't have shows. There's a lot of things, we're going in and out of lockdowns, and it's really trying for a lot of people, because one day you're doing things fine and the next it's, you know, the infections are up again, and depending on the state you're in or the region you're in, they lock you down. And it's been really, really interesting. And I think that I keep telling people that during this, you know, I'm reaching out to bands, and I'm connecting more with my music, because I too, you know, the depression will get you, and it sucks you in that hole. And I'm reaching out to friends. You know, I've had friends that through the years have had dealing with depression, that friends this year that just gave up and have committed suicide. And, you know, they've just reached that space that I think that our humanity during this, you know, music is one thing that heals, and all of my friends are saying the same thing. Music has always healed me, and we're staying really close and connected because humanity, we need to have that for each other, and the empathy and to be able to connect. And the fact that you're doing that with your fans is really awesome, because the way you do it is very genuine. I've seen some bands where it's very disingenuous, or it's just kind of like, hey, you know, buy our merch, buy our merch, buy our merch. But you guys are very genuine. You care about your fans. And I see that they just really care. And I think through this time, once this is over with, fans are going to remember that more than anything. And it's going to really build those loyal, loving fans to really love you for the rest of your career. So I think it's a really great thing on both sides, whether you're doing it just from out of your heart, but it also really does help the fans to really connect.
That's very beautiful. Oh. I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, me too. Of course.
So we're getting close to a half hour here, and I don't want to keep you guys on here. Anything that you guys really want your fans to know, whether it's coming to your Patreon, you know, connecting with you for photography services, anything that they can do to help you right now? Is there
Like, I mean,
Patreon helps a
yeah,
lot. I
it
mean,
helps us out a lot.
and it's
Really
what
does.
the lowest tier is like $1, and
Yeah.
you know, then you get access to the feed and just the feed itself. I mean, we put a lot in that feed to
Yeah.
just like be close and personal because we think it's very important now, especially now, to have a positive
Yeah.
message. And using, I mean, the platform we're given as artists is very important to use in a good way and not just put out stuff that, I mean, some kind like playing on insecurities and all these people are trolls about me. Look at what these trolls are saying about me just to get likes on that post about trolls against you. That's just stupid as fuck. Use your platform to spread a positive message and uplift people, make them feel stronger, and make them chase their goals, whatever it may be, to be a fucking cashier or to be a painter or whatever.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
So Patreon helps a lot. You get to
Mhm.
interact with us directly, and we love to interact with everyone.
And that's also where we put all the, I mean, on Facebook and Instagram, you can't post like 20 photos of us just running around here making jokes and awful pictures
Yeah.
and similar stuff. But I mean, that is what we actually put on Patreon. We show a side of ourselves that, oh yeah, this is us. I mean,
Close and personal.
yeah, and we want that because I mean they know that we're human beings, and it's important for people to remember that even if a band is a band, there's human beings behind that band. So
Sure.
I mean, I also see like comments on our Facebook page sometimes. They're talking about, instead of saying you guys, they're talking about us.
Yeah,
like
they.
like we never read the comments. It's like, hey dude, I'm here.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Well,
You know. But it's just interesting.
so then people have different financial
Course.
states.
Yeah.
We get that. And then if you know, like stream the videos and leave a comment if you
Yeah.
like it, or be a troll, that's fine.
Yeah.
YouTube algorithm loves that too.
Yeah. I usually say
so-
liking, commenting, and sharing helps a lot more than people can imagine sometimes.
Like that
It helps
dude
us a
writing
lot.
cringe. I guess it's a dude because it was
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
There are some chicks that are like that too.
All right.
Of course
well,
there is.
Okay.
You know, let's not be sexist here. There is, we've got to give the truth where it's true.
All right, you got me.
Sorry, ladies, I'm calling you out. No, yeah.
This boy or girl writing that cringe period. That comment actually got us like 20 views. So I mean, keep them coming, bro.
So I mean, Patreon, like, comments, and share.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. That's real. And I honestly can say that without Patreon now, I mean, I don't know what we should have done financially, because that really helps us in a level, but in some kind of level. But also with this is stay positive and happy thing, because when I'm having a bad day, and I've had a lot of them this year, I just really know that shit, I need to post something on Patreon. I need to do something. And that it really helps me to stay creative, because I want to be there for them just as they are for us. So it's like two-way street, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's recap this. So, guys, if I put this out on video, you know, if we decided to roll that way, the album is out on the 27th of November. It is Dancing in Hell by Eleine. You guys, thank you so much for your time. Check out the singles that are out. Enemies, Ava of Death just came out. I love that song. That is a great song. Like, there's going to be so much more coming between now and November. So thank you so much for your time. And we're going to be blasting it out there everywhere to let people know to come find you, because you guys do need to have people know who you are. It's just, the music is amazing. It's genuine. And you guys are awesome, genuine people as well. So I think that fans really need to know who you are and connect. So if we can help in any way, we're happy to do that.
Thank you so
thank
much.
you very much,
That really
Diane.
means a lot.